One of the most beloved aspects of those deeply ingrained into the watch collecting hobby is navigating the world of microbrands. In this video, we look at 5 ways to build a 3-watch collection with only microbrands which follow specific personas or collecting philosophies. I'll say this as a disclaimer, I think it's very important for us to not take ourselves too seriously or the hobby overall. All that to say, we're gonna have a little bit of fun with the descriptions of these personas. Leave a comment down below on which one of these collections you are most like. None of this is sponsored by any of these brands. I'm just a big believer in microbrands, like supporting smaller brands on their upstart journey. And also, if you are interested in watches of this type, check out the link in the description down below to our updated microbrands article looking at 70 of the best in the entire industry. Our first persona is the EDC fanatic. This watch buyer has never met a quilted vest that they didn't like. Vermont maple syrup, artisanal beard oil, and craft beer are listed under the favorite liquids heading of their field notes book. They have dozens of high-end pocket knives that only ever get used for unboxing other high-end pocket knives. The first for our EDC collector is Vero, a Pacific Northwest brand that is known for their outdoorsy aesthetic and adventurous use of color. The piece that we are going to be highlighting is their Workhorse Chrono, which is a note-perfect example of the style that we're going for. The circular, straight-sided case evokes classic Tuna and Arnie models, and the tough Cerakote finish is available in desert tan or olive green, complete with rubberized steel bullhorn guards. On the inside is a Quartz Miyota 6S21 movement with running chronograph seconds, lefty orientation for the pushers, and 120 meters of water resistance, completing a very capable package. So Notice is one of the more respected microbrands to come on the scene in the last decade, famously delivering well-sized and spec'd crowd pleasers like their Sector Sport and Contrail GMT. But their Sector Deep Dive watch is a 500-meter beast that boasts a reliable Seiko NH35 movement while being regulated at their workshop in California. And the DLC Destro version looks positively menacing with its black finish and left-hand screw-down crown. Legibility is no problem, and its colorway is of the right look to break some EDC hearts, all while delivering enough lume to land a jumbo jet. Given the abbreviated lug-to-lug, the watch doesn't wear to its full diameter, and at 13.6 millimeters thick, it's not too bad for a watch housing an NH35 and boasting extreme water resistance capabilities. This next brand is one that I only recently became more aware of. However, I can't think of a better instance to make its debut than to fit within this persona type. The brand is known as ProTech. Now, these are tough and capable tool watches that are actually the brainchild of the founder of another brand you might have heard of in the past, Luminox. The PT1000 range features a carbon composite case, 300 meters of water resistance, a hassle-free Miyota quartz movement, and one of the rare instances in the industry where tritium tube illumination is utilized, making for a grab-and-go timepiece that feels purpose-built for the great outdoors. Moving along to collector persona number 2, this is the type of watch enthusiast that loves a piece that is bold and can command attention. No design, color, or complication is too outrageous. They possess the will to be weird and expect the same from their watch. And unlike the proud grandparent proudly sporting a bumper sticker that states loud and proud about their 4th grade grandchild making the honor roll, this collector's bumper sticker says, "Ask me about my watch." So if your motto is dare to be different, the Space One might be right up your alley. This brand is known for their futuristic looking pieces being a developed concept in partnership between Guillaume Ledet and Theo Offray. Ledet being a name you might know from his work of reviving brands such as Nevada Grenchen and Excelsior Park, and Offray being known for his bespoke timepieces, even getting some recognition from the likes of the GPHG. The Space One has a case profile that resembles an alien craft, being available in steel, titanium, and even forged carbon. The hour, minute, and seconds discs are visible through a small sapphire cockpit window, and the Space One is powered by an automatic SOPROD movement, with the left-hand crown resembling the spacecraft's engine. Although these are not going to be the cheapest watches on the list here today, it is hard for under $2,000 to match the same impression this one will give. Studio Underdog has pumped out hit after hit since its birth during the height of the pandemic, and nothing from the brand has hit as hard as the pink and green juggernaut known as the 01 Series Watermelon. Beyond the unmistakable colorway, you'll find a well-sized case and a genuine column wheel chronograph movement from Seagull, which is based on the classic Swiss Venus caliber 175. The Watermelon name speaks for itself, but I love the subtle details in the design, such as the hour markers resembling seeds, the green tachometer scale matching the watermelon rind, and the textured red pink center. Now, Xeric delivers some of the most creative ways to tell time with their unusual complications, and their scrambler will remind you of that classic carnival ride, with its numerals revolving as they travel around the dial. The time is read through the upper viewing window, and besides being simple to read, it makes for a great conversation piece. What is perhaps the craziest aspect of this watch, though, is that it just uses a simple Miyota 9 series caliber, and despite the unorthodox looks, does still wear reasonably well on the wrist while coming in at around $1,000. For our next collector, we have the Vintage Aesthetics fan. This collector might be of a younger generation, but their style icon is Don Draper. Visually, they think that most watches are too loud, so timeless and understated designs are their preference. This collector also resists any music streaming service and scoffs at the thought of listening to anything not pressed to vinyl. Lorca is a Swiss-made vintage-inspired watch brand that received a good bit of attention last year in 2023 for the release of their Model No. 1 GMT. Lorca was founded by Jesse Marchand, a Canadian singer and songwriter who was itching to apply his creative energy to another outlet. Given its classic proportions and throwback aesthetics, it leaves little up to the imagination why it quickly gained traction. The 36mm case is a change of pace from the crowded world of GMT watches, placing itself in an unfamiliar but welcome place as being both elegant yet capable. Speaking to the capable, the watch delivers 200 meters of water resistance and has a regulated Soprod C125R4, which Lorca quotes to run between plus or minus 4 seconds per day. Next up is a French brand that has been rising the ranks, Serica. Specifically here, we are looking at the 5303 diving chronometer, a watch that looks as if it was born in the mid-20th century, but its modern appointments are far from antiquated. It boasts a COSC certified movement, a gently domed sapphire crystal, and a robust 300 meters of water resistance. But the graphic energy of its dial combined with the gorgeous contours of its 39mm case are some of the best that I have come across from a smaller brand in this price category. Also, the fine link mesh bracelet is comfortable and seamlessly transitions to the case in an effortless manner. And for rounding out this trio, we have the Italian-based yet Swiss-made Echo Nutra, who has established a strong visual language in its short history. My first introduction to their line was their Avaround moon phase at 39mm, but that one doesn't quite cut it for the persona here, so instead we look at their Cortina 1956 GMT. This piece takes bold Arabic numerals and super saturated dial colors to make a big impact, running on the Soprod C125 movement on the inside while maintaining 100 meters of water resistance. Our next collector is the design major. Now, an actual degree is not required, but the state of mind absolutely is. Their apartment resembles a museum of modern art retrospective, and they cringe at the thought of people using words like font and typeface interchangeably. Scottish brand Pollen is well known for their daring use of color in their dials and is a sister brand of another Scottish company that you might be familiar with, Anordain. The Oh No Automatic might be their most daring of any design to date, being a collaborative release alongside a San Jose type foundry. The methodical scrambled arrangement of hour numerals on the dial creates for a dramatic graphical impact. Yes, the dial is going to capture most of the spotlight, but across the board, it does deliver on many points, including a 39mm case, a La Joux-Perret G101 movement with an extended power reserve that stretches to 68 hours. The Unimatic aesthetic is all about reducing visual clutter, and the U1 Classic dive watch has been stripped of the non-essential background noise that plagues so many tool-oriented watches. The 40mm case is a study in capability with 300 meters of water resistance, reliable NH35 movement, and a sapphire crystal, fitting for a watch that emphasizes form as well as function. Oftentimes, dive watches like the U1 feel the need to overcomplicate and over-communicate information. Yet even with the less amount of indicators, we have a watch that doesn't fall short of making it easy to follow. Hailing from France, Beau Bleu is a brand known for their distinct circular hands, including an enlarged second hand that moves gracefully around the dial, often overlapping with the smaller minute and hour hands. The tasteful, unconventional design of the dial is housed in a 39mm case, and an automatic Miyota 9015 movement powers the proceedings. Telling the precise time with circular hands might be a challenge, but if wearing a conversation starter is your thing, the Beau Bleu Ecce Smalt fits the bill, starting as well under $1,000. And now we have our final persona, the I was born in the wrong generation collector. So this type of collector recalls the days of the past that they were not fortunate enough to live through themselves. Consuming media of decades past is a daily routine, and this collector believes that they really don't make them like they used to. So why not just remake them? Nevada Gentian is well known for its classic references like the Depthmaster dive watch and the Antarctic range. But its manual winding Chronomaster Aviator Sea Diver is one of the most well-executed vintage correct throwbacks to one of the brand's most legendary former designs. As the name suggests, it doesn't have any one sole purpose, but instead being a chronograph that can master many of the elements, whether on land, in the sea, or in the air. It is a mechanical chronograph that uses a manual Sellita SW510, and it is a rare instance where you can get a watch of this complication type for 38 millimeters in diameter while keeping things relatively thin for a piece housing in a Bosch integrated chronograph caliber from Switzerland at 13.75 millimeters in height. The Walbrook brand was revived after Neil Armstrong's personal watch, a Douglas-branded World Time Skin Diver, was auctioned in 2019. The modern update is assembled in France like the originals, but now features an upsized 40mm case, 120 meters of water resistance, and an automatic Miyota movement on the inside. But don't worry, despite some of the modern updates, the reboot keeps its retro charm with a Hezolite crystal that sports an internal date cyclops, a red and black roulette date wheel, and a distinctive World Time bezel. And for our final piece, we look at a diving cult classic that was recently revived. Aquastar was a classic name beloved by vintage collectors, and the relaunched brand sticks close to its roots with some appealing references, including the time-only Deep Star 2. This 37mm skin diver cuts a genuinely vintage profile with sunray dials that features sizable running seconds at 9 o'clock. A no decompression steel bezel, sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and reliable Sellita movement make for a truly Swiss-made study in mid-century elegance. But all right, guys, that's all we have for this video, looking at some different persona-led collections only using Microbrands. If you enjoyed the video, please let us know in the comments down below, which one of these collections would you choose? And is there one of these personas that you are guilty of being? I'm probably a little bit of several of these that we were going throughout this video. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon, really do appreciate that. Definitely check out TeddyBaldestar.com. TeddyBaldestar.com is a full authorized dealer of over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. Also, around 18 hours a day. If you have any questions about watches that we're selling on our website, reach out to us on live chat. It'll be in the bottom right corner of the website. We'll have people working pretty much around the clock, ready to answer your questions. Those are people like you and I that are deeply into this enthusiast game. Also, any purchase allows us to keep doing what we're doing with this content, and we love what we do over here. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.